Nolan.
What's up, family? So today we got some pretty sad news about the Nolan Wells situation. We're gonna go ahead and get into the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are on the way to 500.
Wells' parents receive a warning from the former Mississippi judge after the GPS data and the audio from the boat got released. Much like everything else that have came out regarding Nolan Wells, each and every detail just leaves us with more questions.
Every detail leads us to more questions. This case is the most confusing case in the world, because y'all know why. Like, nothing's making sense.
GPS data and the audio from the boat is no different. The audio and GPS data created more questions for us than answered questions for us.
We have some new information on the Nolan Wells case. CBS News got a hold of the boat GPS. When I was putting together the timeline and piecing it together, there were two things that stuck out to me. One was there were several trips back and forth, and two, there is an hour and 13-minute time gap, and I'm going to talk to you about it. So first, at 9:56 a.m., the boat leaves the original dock. It arrives at Horn Island at 11:14. So at around 4 o'clock, there is a call to the Coast Guard about the boat.
So it was about 4 to 5 hours. So they got there about an hour and some change, a little bit, it looks like. Then it say the bus take off, so then they get a distress call at 4 o'clock. So they was in for about 4-5 hours.
NBC News got a hold of it. Here's a quick snippet. This is the only little snippet I could find.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Everybody's on board. So does that mean Nolan?
So where's
Listen,
right?
I don't lack complete self-awareness. Maybe it's a product of us just being...
So they asked, the police asked them, is everybody on board? Is everybody okay? And they said, yeah, it's a setup.
Super hypercritical of everything because of the obvious and blatant lies that have already been told to us. But whenever something new comes out in this case, it's always something sketchy. It's always sus. It always creates more questions than answers. Now, them saying everybody is on board is not an admission that Nolan Wells was on board. They could have very well just been talking about whoever was on board. But still in all, again, it's just a pattern. Whenever something new comes out, is always something sketchy. Now, the next part, the GPS data, that is the one that created more questions than answers. Like, that's the one that a lot of people is hyper-focused on right now, because the GPS data shows, so they left the island. They was on the northwest part of the island. They was trying to leave. Their boat started to sink. Now, apparently they was offshore enough to where they couldn't just swim back, so they had to call for help. Now, the part of the island that they was sinking and needed help from is apparently the exact same side of the island where Nolan Wells' body was found.
Now, as you know, we've been following this story, and what we have now noticed is that the call looks...
Y'all let me know what happened. Y'all, after hearing that, y'all, somebody right now, put in the comments.
...be made in the same area Nolan's body was found 2 days later on Monday. As local outlet WLOX stated, around 8:45 a.m., Sheriff Ledbetter confirmed authorities received a call reporting a body found at the northwestern tip of Horn Island. The body was discovered by a U.S. Park Service ranger. Now, this clearly now gives us a better understanding that when the friends allegedly last seen Nolan at 3 p.m., they would make a call about the boat taking in water and needing of a tow. GPS data graphics would again also confirm they were located on the northwestern tip of the island. Now at 4:31 p.m., they would eventually be towed for about 2.7 miles out before returning to normal operation and headed back to land. Now, after gathering all this information, it now seems for some that Nolan's incident, given that his body was found in the same area, had to have happened between the call at 3 p.m., when they stated to last seeing him, and when they would be towed away at 4:31 p.m.
With all the evidence now coming out, and there's talks of a grand jury, people are getting excited that Nolan Wells is about to get justice. That Nolan Wells is finally about to get justice, and people are going to be held responsible. But former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore, he released a video where he says, hold on. And he sent a message to Nolan parents saying, yo, don't let these people trick you and fool you. It looks like they are trying to get Nolan justice. It looks like they're trying to do the right thing. But I've been fooled by these people in the past. This is just how they do it. They're going to find a way to undermine justice. Do not get fooled and tricked into thinking the DA is on your...
So this is another judge telling the family, don't get fooled and don't get confused. Even though they taking it to the Supreme Court, they could just be trying to do all that for looks. But you might not get justice behind this, and that's so sad, bro.
Side, they're not. And I think this is a very important thing because this is a former judge within Mississippi. He's a current and practicing attorney. This is somebody who knows that system all too well. And he knows the very same people personally who's going to be prosecuting this if it does become criminal. And he's telling the parents, yo, heed this warning. These people are not your friends. They come across as super nice. They come across with a southern charm, but they ain't your friends and they are
vicious.
Snakes.
So much has transpired. So we are now on day 11 since the disappearance of Nolan Wells.
It's been 2 weeks.
Day 11. And there has still been no arrest. To me, that is unacceptable.
That's ridiculous. It's been about 2 weeks and we haven't had no arrest, no nothing for Nolan Wells. And there's a group of people. There was a group of people. It was a public event. Somebody dies and nobody has answers to nothing and nobody got arrested for nothing. That's ridiculous.
That is unacceptable.
I bet you if it was that judge's son that went missing, I bet you somebody would got arrested that same night. I bet you.
Because we know on day one, had there been 3 young black men to return to the mainland from an island and 1 white young man left there who disappeared, who died
been a problem.
under suspicious circumstances, we know within 1 day of beginning an investigation, with all the suspicious activity that we know that have occurred here, if it occurred in that situation, we know that there would have been arrest by now. So it's still unacceptable to me that no arrests at all have been made.
Javion went on TMZ to say and told them he ain't even get interrogated. Like, man, this is crazy.
For any particular crime, and I've laid out a litany of potential crimes that members of law enforcement, if they were doing their jobs unbiasedly and thoroughly, could have made by now.
One of the theories that he laid out to me is a theory that should satisfy both sides. If you are somebody who believed that Nolan Wells drowned because he was drunk or he was drinking, or if you're on the other side, which is we believe that Nolan Wells was murdered or he was pushed off, but this was not no accidental thing. Well, his theory satisfies both sides. His theory says, okay, if you believe Nolan Wells drowned accidentally by himself and there's no foul play, then you should also be in favor of arresting the people who provide Nolan Wells that liquor. Nolan Wells was under 21 years old. So if somebody provided Nolan Wells that drink, that liquor, that beer, or whatever he was drinking that caused him to drown accidentally, then we should all be in favor.
Then somebody should still be arrested. Somebody should still be arrested. Somebody died at a pool and it wasn't an accident. They're trying to rule it out as an accident, but I think they said they have information. Y'all let me know. I think they said they got new information and evidence to have a suspect or something like that. They might be bullshitting, but y'all let me know in the comments.
Of arresting that person, right? Why aren't you in favor of that? Because if somebody gives somebody drugs and they overdose, that person is going to jail for a very long time.
Yeah.
So shouldn't that apply here? Right?
Yeah.
See, but it's not about...
That's facts though. If I go to Twin Peaks right now and I get drunk, if the waitress feels like I've had too much to drink or I'm showing signs that I can't hold my liquor no more, she cannot serve me no more. Because if she keeps serving me and I leave and go get in a car accident or hit somebody or anything takes place, they're gonna ask you, was you drunk? Where did you get drunk from? And then the waitress actually gets in trouble because she did not serving you liquor. They check the cameras, they see that you was drunk and she just kept feeding you. So that's a real thing. Whoever gave him them drugs, that liquor, needs to be held accountable then. Somebody needs to be held accountable for this.
Oh my God, no, it's never about the truth. It's only about...
And the actual person who did it needs to be held accountable. Whoever had partake in this young man's death They need to be held accountable for this. This is ridiculous.
How do the people that we like and love avoid and dodge accountability? Because if they were all for the truth, even if they believe that Nolan Wells accidentally drowned, then you should be pro going and arresting the people responsible for providing the liquor. Either way, arrest should be happening.
Because I don't play. School had recess. I do not play. I don't even play the radio. Those folks know me. They know me well. And if I say it, I mean it. And so I see today, not only did she had announced earlier this week that she was going to work with, or was working with the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, she met with the family and their counsel and gave them an update and told them that she will be presenting all of the evidence to a Jackson County grand jury. That is a step in the right direction. But is it a step in the right direction because we had to call her hand? Had she planned to do that all alone? I had the unfortunate experience of meeting the DA, McRath, back in 2019 when I was with a partner with the Cochran firm. And Toussaint Diamond Sims was killed by a Morris Point Police Department officer on August the 8th, 2019. It was caught on video. There were several witnesses that said that young man had nothing in his hands when he was shot 5 times in the back by that Morris Point cop. 5 times in the back, nothing in his hands. DA McRath presented all that evidence, overwhelming evidence, and she still could not secure an indictment of that officer in Jackson County. So before everybody goes and starts singing her praises, let's make sure she's not going to do another sham presentation to the grand jury.
Yeah.
And we know that you can present things to various grand juries until you get an indictment.
I found out by watching Carlos that...
And I didn't know that. So he basically saying they finna try to play the system because they've done it before. They've done it before. I don't know who he was. That sounds like the Mike Brown situation, but I can't. I forgot what he said. But what he's saying is they've done that before. They've done this before, and the same judge that's finna send it to the grand jury, it's the same one that got a history of letting people off. So where are we at now? What?
When the DA said that they was bringing this case to the grand jury, that was apparently a sleight of hand. Because she was not electing to do it. This was not a choice. Apparently, this is just protocol. This is just this is what they are supposed to do. This is a requirement. If somebody dies and the cause of death is unknown, it goes to the grand jury automatically. Yeah. You guys have to present the cause of death to the grand jury automatically. Hey, we think he
I didn't know that. I thought they only took it to the grand jury if it was like somebody died. Well, yeah, you're right. Because if somebody died unexpectedly and they don't got no evidence, they don't know how they died. Yeah, that's as far as they know, this is a crime. So yeah, that makes sense.
He drowned. Here's the evidence. So it's not presenting the case to the grand jury. It's what they present within the grand jury.
Yeah.
If she's gonna come to the grand jury and say, yeah, he drowned. Here's the evidence that he drowned, and then the grand jury says, okay, he drowned. There's really no criminal matter here. They're gonna come back and say, see, the grand jury said no, it's how you present to the grand jury. Like he said, she met with black leaders, she met with activists, and she sold them a dream of how she's about to be fair and impartial and present all the evidence to the grand jury. Man, she got to that grand jury and said, hey man, it's self-defense, right? So, what they're doing with the parents, they're hoodwinking the parents. They're running circles around them. And I love the fact that he's warning them now so they don't get disappointed. Because her bringing this to a grand jury was not her choice. This is a requirement. But a lot of us got fooled into thinking, oh my.
And I did not know that. I didn't know it was a requirement they had to do that. So now it's like, yeah, they could definitely play that game.
They taking it seriously. No, they're not taking it seriously, bro. I don't think their goal is to get justice for no. Their goal is to make sure the public pressure is gone. The backlash is gone.
I agree. I think they thought this was going to be a little town situation and this is just going to buy over and their moms are just, I think this is a classic case of we could do anything we want and they came back and bit you in the ass. And now they facing consequences, and now they gonna say and do anything they can on camera, you know, to kind of die down this situation and try to really make it seem. My theory is, and y'all let me know if I'm tripping, I think when they found Nolan Wells' body, because if y'all remember, when they first found his body, before they found his body, they said he drowned or something like that. And it was no signs of him being harmed. It was ruled as an accident. When they did the autopsy, they got them autopsy reports, and all of a sudden the situation did change. It went from it was an accident to we might have a suspect, there was some things going on, we're gonna send it to, we do have evidence, we're sending something to the grand jury. So I do feel like when they found that body, they realized they probably found something in his system. You know what I'm saying? Because there was rumors of him going to a party and they were taking drugs at some point and they was drinking. So I think, you know, he probably has something in his system, and they like, we can't rule this as an accident no more, because his autopsy came back like this. So now we gotta come up with a different story. So I think that's why we having so many story changing, because their story change comes as more evidence comes out. That's when their story change. So that's from what I'm witnessing, from what I'm seeing, that's kind of what I'm getting off. That's what I'm seeing.
They want to get over this as fast as possible.
It's mighty funny that the regular saying is you can indict a ham sandwich. With all that evidence, after someone was killed in 2019, and I happened to represent the family at that time as a partner in the Cochran firm, and I met with her as well as the family, similar to what happened today, so I've been through that process with her. She will offer you sweet tea. She's a nice, good Southern belle. But can she get you justice? We're not going to sleep on you, Angel, excuse me. We're not going to sleep on you. This time, we expect you to present the evidence in a manner like you present it in other situations, that you can secure an indictment or indictments.
And he's dead, and you can see the seriousness in his eyes. He like, man, don't go up there and start playing them games. Go up there and get justice for this young man, because we can't do that. They gotta go feel this. Whoever did that, if it's crazy how the boy they said he was at, it was Evan House. That's my name. Evan says TV, shout out. But whoever did that, if it was Evan, if it was whoever they was with, if they did that to him, they need to get brought to justice. Period. You know, they need to go to jail with the criminals and prisoners. Them guys that slap them kids around for fun. They need to go be with them for the rest of their life, because they want to be a killer. And just because he black, that don't give him a right to kill somebody. Now we can't. This is all alleged. We can't say somebody killed somebody right now. This is all alleged, right? But how did he go miss? How did he end up dead? How did Nolan, out of all people there, how did Nolan end up dead? That's all I'm saying.
I do know you don't have to be indicted for anything to be arrested. All of this evidence is out there now. It should have been presented to a judge by now. Some of it for probable cause to make some arrest. Some of it to get the search warrants. I am not about any dilatory tactics. You're not going to punt the ball and put it on the grand jury. Certain folks need to be arrested now if there's so much evidence. I told you, I know these folks. And I know how they operate. Don't let their kindness, don't let them kill you with kindness. We are going to keep our feet on their necks. We're going to keep our feet on their necks. We're going to keep applying pressure, because it's what pressure brings results. Pressure bursts pipes.
I 100% agree. I'm not looking forward to this grand jury at all, because I already understand what kind of trickery and mastery they're about to do. As simple as that, bro. Right? They're about to do a lot of trickery and mastery here.
It's demonic, bro. It's straight devil work. I found out this information. I thought, oh my God, they finally taking it seriously, and they presented it to the family as if they were taking it seriously. But this grand jury is just simply a requirement. They're just simply going through the motions to get this done, to get it over with. Right, to get us to stop talking about it and move on. As simple as that. That's their only concern. They don't care about Nolan Wells dying.
They don't care, and their actions have proven it. They care about the backlash. They care about the uproar. They care about the national attention on this little town.
That's what they care about.
And they want the national attention to go his way as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly what it is, man. They want the national attention. They want the national attention to go away as soon and fast as possible. Soon and fast as possible. They do not want this attention. You gotta think. When the boy mom is a judge, do you know how when your mom and your parents are in that type of position in life, how you have to act? Like, he probably couldn't walk out the house without his shoes untied. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to present yourself a certain way when your parents are on this type of level. Because otherwise, you'll be in the news, you know, real quick. And so now you got a body, you know, there's a murder connected to you. That could lose her. She could lose her position. You know, this is horrible for them. This is horrible. So they're trying to do everything in their power to die down. I don't think they thought it was going to get this big, you know, and hey, man, it is what it is. And I think there should be a message. I think arrests need to be made. I 100% agree. Stop waiting. Why is nobody arrested? Somebody at least needs to be brought in for questioning. Everybody got lawyers, but nobody got arrested. This is ridiculous. If I didn't do a crime, if I didn't do something, I'm not getting a lawyer before they come talk to me. When you come talk to me and you let me know you think I did it, then I'll go get a lawyer. But if I didn't do anything, I'm not getting a lawyer. So there's a lot of evidence and a lot of obvious signs that are pointing that something happened, and they're gonna act clueless. They're gonna act like, no, you can't say that. That's speculation. No, it's obvious. And if it was anybody else, it wouldn't be a question. You know what I'm saying? But until next time, guys, please don't forget to subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. And until next